And a very pleasant good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Gilcone Field on the campus of Brevard College. Brevard College baseball in action this afternoon, taking on Toccoa Falls. This was a matchup that was originally scheduled for February the 16th. A lot of weather issues that particular weekend. In fact, the series against Toccoa Falls originally set for Saturday, Sunday. We got 2 games in on that Friday, and then game 3 of the series, which was going to happen on Sunday, was postponed due to weather as well. And that's the makeup game that's happening this afternoon versus Toccoa Falls. Tornadoes coming off 2 straight wins in USA South Conference play versus Southern Virginia, a 6-4 win followed by a 10-5 win this past Saturday, looking to keep that momentum going against Toccoa Falls, who is a non-conference foe and a great opportunity to springboard into more conference play that begins this weekend when the Tornadoes host Pfeiffer. Brevard 6-13 on the season. Toccoa Falls 11-12. And the Tornadoes happy to be back at Gilcone Field. A vast majority of their games thus far have been played away from Gilcone Field. In fact, of the 19 games played this season, only 4 home games so far. So that means 15 of the 19 games away from Gilcone Field, and Tornadoes about to embark on a homestand that begins this afternoon versus Toccoa Falls. Tornadoes starting lineup as follows. Batting first will be the center fielder, C.P. Pyle. Batting second, the DH, Hayden Jennings. In the 3-hole is the right fielder, Logan Sawyer. Batting fourth is the first baseman, Cale Ayler. Batting fifth, playing third base, Frankie Vasquez. Batting sixth, the second baseman, Luke Morton. The shortstop, Nico Bartolotti, bats seventh. The catcher, Hunter Bousquet, bats eighth. And in the 9-hole, the left fielder, Lucas Granada. We're expecting a bullpen day from the Tornadoes, so we'll see a lot of different pitchers most likely throughout this contest. But starting things off will be Caden Tootin, sophomore righty out of Savannah, Georgia. Toccoa Falls batting order. Batting first, the center fielder, Charlie Compton, followed by the catcher, Connor Moret. Batting third, the DH, Cole Smith. Batting fourth, the first baseman, Ryan McCarron. Batting fifth, third baseman, Aiden Dumas. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Peyton Powell. Jeremiah Campbell in left field bats seventh. Batting eighth, the shortstop, Nick Eckert. And batting ninth, the second baseman, Will Miller. The pitcher who will get the nod for the Screaming Eagles is Luke Pruitt. So that sets you up for this matchup between the Tornadoes and the Screaming Eagles on a pleasant Wednesday afternoon with some occasional wind gusts. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the contest. But glad you're along for this ride. Brevard College baseball coming up from Gilcone Field. Back here at Gilcone Field, Toccoa Falls and Brevard moments away from getting started. Caden Tootin on the mound for the Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes, as they align defensively, in left field, Lucas Granada. At center field, CP Pyle. In right field, Logan Sawyer. At third base, Frankie Vasquez. The shortstop, Nico Bartolotti. Luke Morton at second base. First baseman, Cale Ayler. And the catcher's Hunter Bousquet. And Caden Tootin finishing up his warm-up pitches to Hunter Bousquet. This will be Tootin's fourth appearance of the season. His first start. Wears number 99 out of Savannah, Georgia, Benedictine Military School.
Leading off for the Screaming Eagles, center fielder number 7, Charlie Compton.
And this will be his first career start in a Tornado uniform. So just about to get things started. Toccoa Falls, Charlie Compton, the leadoff hitter, followed by Connor Merritt and Cole Smith, 1, 2, 3 hitters for Toccoa Falls. And at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, we are underway. Much awaited return to Gilcone Field for the Brevard College Tornadoes. Been on the road a bunch. Finally back here to the friendly confines of the Gill. This is lined into left field, so that's going to be an early base hit for Compton. So a runner on board.
Screaming Eagles, catcher number 12, Connor Merritt.
So that'll bring up Connor Merritt with leadoff hitter Compton at first. First pitch, a ball. Breaking ball there, just off the mark. So Compton, Merritt, Smith, the 1, 2, 3 hitters for Toccoa Falls. McCarron, Dumas, and Powell, 4, 5, 6. As ball 2 is taken there by Merritt. Campbell, Eckert, and Miller, the 7, 8, 9 hitters. Mentioned this is the first career start for Tootin. 3 appearances so far this year, all in relief, and 5 appearances his freshman season here at Brevard. And the pitch locates there, so count runs to 3-1. May have been a take all the way there by Merritt with the 3-0 count. So 3-1 count, just getting started here. Top of the first. And ball 4, so runner will take the base. And runners first and second for Toccoa Falls. That'll bring up the DH, Cole Smith. So early opportunity for Toccoa Falls with runners at first and second and no out. And the 3, 4, 5 hitters coming up to the plate. Swing and a miss there, strike 1. Tootin was able to fool Smith on that offering. Here's the 0-1. Smith lays down a bunt, and he's tagged out. That'll be a sacrifice bunt, so 1 out, and runners move to second and third in the process. So Smith does his job with the sacrifice, and that'll bring up Ryan McCarron.
Back to the Screaming Eagles, first baseman number 32, Ryan
McCarron,
McCarron.
the cleanup hitter for the Screaming Eagles. playing first base, also part of the pitching staff for Toccoa Falls. Left-handed pitcher, left-handed hitter. Hitting .329 on the season with 24 RBIs. And he's got an opportunity here to add to that total with runners on second and third. Here's the 0-2. Outside, 1-2. Midweek game for these two clubs, originally scheduled for Sunday, February the 16th, as this is driven to second base. That's going to score a run, so an RBI ground out as Luke Morton makes the play. Out, 2 outs in a 1-0 lead for Toccoa Falls. Runner now at third. So a sacrifice bunt by Smith, and then an RBI ground out by McCarron has given the Screaming Eagles the early 1-0 lead. Tuin gets back to work here against Aiden Dumas. That'll be a foul ball, so count runs to 0-2. Well, it seems like a lifetime ago, but these two teams played in the first games of the season here at Gilcone Field. Games were originally scheduled for a Saturday-Sunday series. All sorts of inclement weather that weekend, if you recall. And the Saturday-Sunday series was rescheduled to a doubleheader on Friday and then a single game on Sunday, since that Saturday the 15th had the most rain. They were able to get the 2 Friday games in, but then the Sunday game did not happen, and that's what we're making up right here as that pitch in the dirt. 1-2. In those 2 games, Toccoa Falls won game number 1, 4-1, but then the Tornadoes looked good in the second game of the doubleheader with a 7-3 win. Beautiful pitch there by Tuin for the strikeout and out number 3. So Screaming Eagles able to get 1 run in the process. We'll head to the bottom of the first. Your score, Toccoa Falls 1, Brevard College 0. Back here at Gilcone Field, heading to the bottom of the first. Tornadoes' first chance at the plate. CP Pyle will lead off, followed by Hayden Jennings and Logan Sawyer. 4, 5, 6 hitters are Cale Ayler, Frankie Vasquez, and Luke Morton. Nico Bartolotti bats 7th, Hunter Bousquet 8th, and Lucas Granada 9th. And Toccoa Falls will counter with their starting pitcher, Luke Pruitt. Defense for Toccoa Falls In the infield, Aiden Dumas at third base. Shortstop, Nick Eckert. At second base is Will Miller. At first base, Ryan McCarron. Behind the dish, Connor Merritt. Outfield from left to right, Jeremiah Campbell, Charlie Compton, and Peyton Powell. So we'll get things started here in the home half of the first inning as CP Pyle steps to the plate. Senior center fielder for BC. First pitch from Pruitt. Inside, ball one. Pyle hitting .284 on the season. 3 doubles and a home run. Leads the team in walks. He's drawn 13 walks. So has a knack for getting on base. 1-1 the count. And the pitch from Pruitt. Able to catch the outside part of the plate there, 1-2. The 1-2 to Pyle. Lifted to center field, well struck, but that'll stay in the park as Compton able to flag that down in center field for out number 1.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, designated hitter number 10, Hayden.
So I'll bring up Hayden Jennings, who leads the Tornadoes in hitting so far this season through 19 games. First pitch ball. Hitting .382, 21 hits and 55 at-bats. Has 3 doubles, a home run, 12 RBI. And similar to Pyle, has the ability of drawing walks. Second on the team with 12 base on balls. Also has been hit by the pitch 3 times. A .500 on-base percentage. Count runs to 3-0. 1 down here, bases empty, bottom of the first. Pruitt versus Jennings. And a 4-pitch walk. So Jennings now with 13 walks on the season. And a base runner aboard for the Tornadoes here in the bottom of the first.
Right fielder number 9, Logan Sawyer.
Now to bring up Logan Sawyer. Sawyer hitting .304 this year. Do want to make one amendment to what I mentioned earlier when I was mentioning Jennings' numbers. Actually second on the team in hitting. Luke Morton hitting .480 to lead the club, but Morton's only played in 8 games. So amongst the regulars, Jennings with this being his 18th game played, hitting .382. Morton back in the lineup today. Starting second baseman. Made a nice play defensively in that top half of the first inning. 2-1 the count, 1 out, runner on first. The pitch. Grounded down the third base line, and it's going to get past the third baseman of Toccoa Falls. Dumas tried to make a play on it. And runners second and third. It'll be ruled a double for the Tornadoes.
Tornadoes first baseman number 26, Cale Ayler.
difficult play there for Dumas trying to backhand it. Ball wasn't that well hit, but it was placed perfectly down that third base line, and Dumas was able to get a little bit of his glove on it, but bottom line is a double for Sawyer. And now runners second and third for Cale Ayler. Big opportunity for Ayler. Ayler hitting .347, 4 home runs leading the team, 9 doubles, and team best 22 RBI. So 0-1 the count, 1 out, runners second and third. Ayler pops this up, foul territory, and flag down there by Dumas for out number 2.
Back for the Tornadoes, third baseman number 19, Frankie Vasquez.
I'll bring up Frankie Vasquez, senior from Pembroke Pines, Florida. Vasquez also hitting at a healthy clip, .348, 2 homers, 16 RBI. Opportunity here with 2 outs and 2 on. Pitch from Pruitt, high, ball 1. Here's the 1-0. Well struck in the gap in left center field. It's going to make its way all the way to the wall. That's going to score 2 runs. It's a 2 RBI double for Frankie Vasquez, and the Tornadoes storm into the lead 2-1. Big time piece of hitting there from Vasquez. His 9th double of the year. RBIs number 17 and 18. And the Tornadoes with an early 2-1 advantage on the 2 RBI double from Vasquez, scoring Sawyer and Jennings. So see if the Tornadoes can keep this inning going, as Luke Morton now at the plate. We mentioned how effective he's been with the bat this season, hitting .480 in 25 at-bats. Takes strike 1. Here's the 0-1. This is popped up and able to make the play there, the first baseman Ryan McCarron, but the Tornadoes able to get 2 runs on 2 hits, highlighted by a 2 RBI double from Frankie Vasquez. We'll head to the top of the second. Brevard 2, Toccoa Falls 1. Tornadoes with an early 2-1 lead against Toccoa Falls, and Caden Tootin will go back to work. Frankie Vasquez with the 2 RBI double to put the Tornadoes ahead. Peyton Powell, the right fielder, will get things started here in the second for the Screaming Eagles. Powell, Campbell, and Eckert due up here in the second. First pitch to Powell off the plate, ball 1. Powell, a left-handed hitting junior from Hartwell, Georgia. Big cut there. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Some early action in the Tornado bullpen. As swing and a miss there. We're expecting to see a lot of pitchers. A bullpen day for the Tornadoes where we'll see a lot of arms out there. Midweek non-conference affair. Pitch here, high inside, ball 2. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss there, and second strikeout of the game for Tootin. I'll bring up the left fielder, Jeremiah Campbell. Two arms there for the Tornadoes in the pen. Left-handed pitcher, Gage Granada. Also, right-handed pitcher, Andrew Bernard. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss. So Tootin ahead of Campbell, misses there. Foul tip and strike 2, so 2-2 the count. Caden Tootin, where's number 99? So count runs full. And that'll be ball 4, so Jeremiah Campbell will take first base, and the inning will continue for Toccoa Falls. Nick Eckert, the batter.
Shortstop number 4, Nick Eckert.
First pitch missing, ball 1. Two strikeouts for Tootin, matches his career high here at Brevard. He struck out 2 in a game last year versus Greensboro. As that's fouled off. 1-1. The count, 1 out, runner on first. Jeremiah Campbell, the base runner, after drawing a walk. Grounder here, deep in the hole for the shortstop, Bartolotti. And that'll be a base hit for Toccoa Falls. And now runners first and second. Will Miller hitting from the left side, starting second baseman. Steps to the plate. Pitch there, inside, ball one. Tornadoes with a 2-1 lead. Toccoa Falls looking to answer back with 2 runners aboard here with 1 out. And the pitch. Swing and a miss. 2 and got him there. Here's the 1-1. Miller laying down the bunt, but unable to keep it in fair territory. So count now 1-2. Wind blowing in from center. Pretty strong gust at times. Pitch here gets past the catcher, and the runners will advance to second and third. A wild pitch. So that pitch was well outside by Tootin. Now 2 runners in scoring position. The tying run and the go-ahead run for Toccoa Falls. This has popped up. Vasquez on the move. Also Bartolotti. Bartolotti able to make the play. Just what the doctor ordered, as Miller is retired and those base runners hold. So now 2 outs. And looks like we're going to have our first pitching change of the contest. So stick with us. We'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. Top of the second. 2 outs. Runners second and third, a 2-1 lead for the Tornadoes. New pitcher for the Tornadoes is Gage Granada. And one of the more creative and appropriate warm-up music we've heard here at Gilcone Field. The song Granada, the Frank Sinatra version. This dates back to 1932, originally written by Mexican composer Agustin Lara about the Spanish city Granada. Now, Gage Granata, spelled with a T, but close enough. The song Granada, really nicely done. Frank Sinatra pumping through the speakers here at Gilcone Field. Frank Sinatra's song New York, New York, of course, synonymous with the sport of baseball. Play that after New York Yankees wins at Yankee Stadium. And Nice touch here at Gilcone Field. This on Granada. So meanwhile, Gage Granada comes in with runners second and third and 2 outs. And facing the leadoff hitter, Charlie Compton. 2 in through 36 pitches in 1 2/3 innings. He's responsible for these 2 runners. Yeah, swing and a miss there. Allowed 2 hits. Career high 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. 9 batters face. Here's the 1-1. Good looking pitch there on the inside part of the plate against the left-handed hitting Compton. And Granada, the freshman from Wake Forest, North Carolina. Just misses there. Now Gage Granada, the younger brother of Lucas Granada, senior on the Tornadoes. Certainly well known around these parts, playing left field. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Bousquet will have to make the play at first and going to be safe on first. So a strikeout and then an error on the throw from Bousquet. So Toccoa Falls able to tie things up 2-2. Tough break for the Tornadoes, and now runners first and third. So an error on the Tornadoes. And an unearned run will be charged to 2 in. And the inning continues for Toccoa Falls as Merritt steps to the plate. So all tied up now at 2. Granada did his job, struck out Compton. Bousquet looked to make the play at first, connecting with Cale Ayler. Throw was off the mark, and Toccoa Falls able to score the tying run. And now a play at the plate, he's out. Bousquet with a big-time tag there of Eckert. A caught stealing. Goes 1-3-2 in the scorebook. Really nicely done as Ayler fired that baseball to home plate. Bousquet made the tag. Still some discussion about it from the umpiring crew, as there was a bit of a protest there from Coach Josh Taylor of Toccoa Falls, and the call will stand in out, and that'll get the Tornadoes out of that second inning. We'll head to the bottom of the second. Your score: Brevard 2, Toccoa Falls 2. Back here at Gilcone Field, exciting
Number 0, Nico Bartolotti.
first inning and a half here at the Gill. All tied up at 2. And Tornadoes looking to answer back. Nico Bartolotti, Hunter Bousquet, and Lucas Granada, 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. And Luke Pruitt begins his second inning of work for the Eagles. Toccoa Falls, located in the mountains of Georgia, just 77 miles away from Brevard. However, you've got to get through some mountain roads to get from one place to the other. Roughly a 2-hour trip. Two balls, 2 strikes to Nico Bartolotti. Nico, sophomore from Lake Wiley, South Carolina, Clover High School. And hit by pitch, so Bartolotti will take first base and leadoff batter aboard for the Nados. So I'll bring up Hunter Bousquet. Made that tag to end the top of the second. See if he can get it done with the bat now. Bousquet's going to lay down a bunt handled by Pruitt, and a sacrifice bunt's going to move the base runner Bartolotti to second. So one down here in the bottom of the second, and that'll bring up Lucas Granada.
Left fielder number 1, Lucas Granada.
So RBI opportunity here for Granada with Bartolotti now in scoring position after the sac bunt from Bousquet. And the pitch. Missing, ball 1. Very pleasant, 73 degrees here at Gilcone Field. Spring has arrived here in the mountains of western North Carolina. 1-1 the count to Granada. Granada lays off that offering, 2-1. And the pitch. Missing again, 3-1. So hitters count for Lucas Granada and runner in scoring position at second. Swing and a miss there, then a throw to second attempted to catch Bartolotti off the bag as Merritt fired to second base. So full count now to Lucas Granada. Granada fouls that off, so the at-bat will continue. All tied up at 2. Bottom of the second. This is lifted to center field. Bartolotti thought about tagging momentarily, but prudently stays there at second. That'll be out number 2. And for his second at bat, bring up CP Pyle. Leadoff hitter for the NATOs. First pitch to Pyle, high and inside, ball 1. Pyle flew out to center in his first at-bat. Pickoff throw to second to try to get Bartolotti. That was Nick Eckert, shortstop, covering second. Bartolotti able to get back with ease. It's the 1-0. And it hits CP Pyle. So runners at first and second now for the Tornadoes. And big opportunity here for Hayden Jennings. And we'll have a visit to the mound for Toccoa Falls. We'll take a quick break. Your score, 2-2. So Pruitt will remain in the game. And Hayden Jennings, a big opportunity here to put the Tornadoes back on top. Pruitt's now hit 2 batters, walked 1. Called strike there. Bartolotti, the base runner at second, Pyle at first. The pitch to Jennings. Outside, ball 2. A pitch off the mark as well. So hitters count for Hayden Jennings. It's been sensational this season, hitting .382. Looking to add to that number. And the 3-1. Popped up. And play made there by the second baseman, Will Miller. So 2 runners stranded, and Pruitt able to get out of the inning. We'll head to the top of the third. Brevard 2, Toccoa Falls 2. Back here at Gilcone Field, start of inning number 3. And due up for the Screaming Eagles, 2, 3, 4 hitters, Merritt, Smith, and McCarron. And Connor Merritt face off against Gage Granada. Got that third out in the top of the second after coming in to relieve Caden Tootin. 2-0 the count to Merritt. Merritt walked in his first at-bat versus Tootin. Good-looking pitch there, locates 3-1. Well, Major League Baseball underway as 2 games have gotten in the books all the way in Tokyo, Japan, as this is driven to left field. So a single for Merritt, who's reached base in both of his opportunities in this contest thus far. I'll bring up Cole Smith. Dodgers and the Cubs played in Tokyo, Japan. In case you were up early, 6 a.m. start Eastern time, 3 a.m. if you're over Pacific time. The rest of the teams will get started in a bit here, but the Tokyo series now in the books, as this is drilled, clubbed to right field by Smith, but Logan Sawyer was there to make the play. Runner holds at first, 1 down. Bring up Ryan McCarron, the first baseman. McCarron, a junior from Ball Ground, Georgia. First pitch swinging, and that's a fair ball down the right field line. Sawyer sends it back. Nice play by Sawyer to get that quickly into the hands of the second baseman, Luke Morton. It's one of those pieces of defense that won't show up in the box score necessarily, but might have just saved a run there. But it'll be a double for McCarron. So now runners second and third, and Aiden Dumas at the plate. First pitch strike from Gage Granada. We mentioned Granada, the younger brother of Lucas Granada. Here's the 0-1 outside. Both from Wake Forest, North Carolina, and Heritage High School. Also, Luke Morton from that same hometown, same high school. So 3 NATOs out of Heritage High School in Wake Forest. I think it's officially a pipeline now. One, two, the count. Runners second and third. All tied up at second here in the top of the third. And swing and a miss there. So Gage Granada able to get the strikeout. Just what the doctor ordered with those 2 runners in scoring position and 1 out. And now just 1 out away of getting out of this jam. Granada's second strikeout in just 5 batters faced. Swing and a miss there. Nasty pitch from Granada. And the 0-1. Swing and a miss again, 0-2. Peyton Powell with the opportunity here. A lot of left-handed hitters in this Toccoa Falls lineup. Powell, one of them. As this is lifted to center field, and nicely done there by Gage Granada as CP Pyle gets the third out in center, and 2 runners stranded. So both teams strand a pair of runners in the third. And we'll head to the bottom of the third. All tied up at 2. So new pitcher for Toccoa Falls, it's Drew Ellsworth. So that'll complete the day for the starting pitcher, Pruitt. Pruitt pitched 2 innings through 38 pitches. 2 runs, both earned, 2 hits. Did not strike out a tornado, walked 1, and hit 2 batters. And next man up, Drew Ellsworth, sophomore lefty from Noonan, Georgia. And Logan Sawyer will be the first assignment for Ellsworth.
Batting for the Tornadoes, right fielder number 9, Logan Sawyer.
Noonan, Georgia, just a bit outside of Atlanta, southwest off of I-85. First pitch to Sawyer, low, ball 1. Inside, ball 2 to Sawyer. Sawyer takes a strike there, so 2-1 the count. Sawyer, Ayler, and Vasquez, 3, 4, 5 hitters. Here in the bottom of the third, it's comebacker there on the bunt. And 1-3 on the putout, 1 down, and here's Cale Ayler.
26, Cale Ayler.
First pitch to Ayler, crushed down that first base line, but McCarron is there to make the play. And 2 quick outs for Ellsworth.
Batting for the Tornadoes, third baseman number 19, Frankie Vasquez.
4 pitches, 2 outs for Ellsworth here in the bottom of the third. Vasquez takes strike 1. If the inning continues, Luke Morton awaits on deck. And now an 0-2 count to Vasquez. 2 called strikes for Ellsworth. Here's the 0-2. Hard hit down the first base line and able to make the play there. McCarron flips it to Ellsworth. A 7-pitch inning for Ellsworth in the bottom of the third. We'll head to the top of the fourth. Brevard 2, Toccoa Falls 2. New pitcher for Brevard College. It's Andrew Bernard, freshman from Norcross, Georgia. This will be his 5th appearance on the mound in a Tornado uniform. We also see Bernard from time to time as a position player, where he's also played in 6 games. As Bernard, the 3rd pitcher of the day for Brevard College, 2 in pitch the first 1 2/3 innings. Allowed 1 earned run, 2 runs total on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, 2 walks. Gage Granada was very effective in 1 1/3 innings. Did not allow a run, 2 hits, no walks, 2 strikeouts. Gage Granada threw 20 pitches, 14 strikes, so great ratio there.
Now batting for Toccoa Falls, left fielder number 37, Jeremiah Campbell.
So Jeremiah Campbell will lead off for the Screaming Eagles. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up. Campbell, Eckert, and Miller. And Bernard with his first assignment of the day. First pitch, low and outside, ball 1. Bernard working with his catcher, Hunter Bousquet. Able to locate there, strike 1. Well, appreciate you tuning in. Brevard College Tornado baseball here on a Wednesday afternoon. As Ehlers able to make the play there, ruled fair by the umpire there down the first base line, and Ehlers, nicely done, able to make the play, step on first base, and a quick 1 out. That'll bring up Nick Eckert. Eckert, the junior from Grovetown, Georgia. And first pitch swinging, that's going to be popped up. Ehlers will make the play, so 2 outs.
Now batting for Toccoa Falls, second baseman number 1, Will Miller.
Very quickly here. Just like we saw in the last half inning, first 2 outs came on just 4 pitches. And called strike there. So Bernard continuing to deal. Will Miller, 9-hole hitter, starting second baseman for Toccoa Falls at the plate. Pitch outside, 1-1. Will Miller, sophomore from McDonough, Georgia. As pitch there's outside, 2-1. More action in the Tornadoes bullpen. Caleb James, the lefty, throwing at the moment. As pitch there off the plate, 3-1. And a swing and a miss there, 3-2. Blew that right past Allen. Fouled off. The at-bat will continue. And the 3-2. High, ball 4. So base runner aboard. And back to the top of the order we go. Charlie Compton, but we may have a pitching change here as Coach Vinny Carone heads to the mound. So stick with us here in the top of the fourth. Brevard 2, Toccoa Falls 2. New pitcher for Brevard College, Caleb James, freshman left-hander out of Pike County, Georgia. For James, this will be just his second appearance in a Tornado uniform.
Batting for Toccoa Falls, center fielder number 7, Charlie Compton.
And Charlie Compton, leadoff hitter, will step to the plate. First pitch in the dirt, ball 1. One appearance for James came at Piedmont. As pitch there's outside ball 2. And the 2-0. Foul ball, so 2-1. Third trip to the plate for Compton. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored and a strikeout. If the inning continues, Merritt awaits on deck. Runner going. Here's the 2-1. And it'll be a stolen base. Pitch was a ball. And stolen base puts the runner in scoring position for Compton. As Miller with the steal. First stolen base we've seen for either team thus far. As pitch there misses, and back-to-back walks has given Toccoa Falls runners on first and second with 2 outs. I'll bring up Merritt. More action in the Tornado pen. We weren't kidding when we said this was a bullpen game and we'd see a lot of arms. First pitch inside, ball 1. Jacob Wild looks to be the arm in the bullpen, right-hander, out of nearby Mills River. But first things first, as James trying to get this third out for the Nados. This is hit to shallow center field, a difficult play, and it's going to be a base hit. Diving attempt there for CP Pyle in center, but it's going to be a 2 RBI single for Merritt. And a 4-2 lead now for Toccoa Falls.
Now batting for Toccoa Falls, designated hitter number 75, Cole Smith.
Sort of a tough luck situation there. James threw a good pitch, got a pop up to very shallow center field. And Pyle made a diving attempt, unable to come up with it. 2 runs come home to score. And another lead change in this contest. As Toccoa Falls now ahead 4-2. Now James will go to work against Cole Smith. Pickoff throw to first. Going to keep Merritt in check. Cale Ayler, the first baseman for the Tornadoes, holding him there. Runners going, and this can be a stolen base. Second of the inning for the Screaming Eagles. Count now 1-1. Pitch was a ball. Top of inning number 4. Toccoa Falls has regained the lead, now ahead 4-2. This is a deep fly ball to left, and play will be made there by Lucas Granada for out number 3. But Screaming Eagle is able to get 2 runs in the process, take a 4-2 lead. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th here at Gilcone Field. New pitcher for Toccoa Falls, junior righty Ashton Sapp, hails from Monroe, Georgia. Third pitcher of the contest for Toccoa Falls. Brevard has used 4 pitchers thus far. Both teams seem to have similar objectives here in terms of pitching staff management. Getting a lot of action here in this midweek contest. Luke Morton will lead things off for the NATOs here in the bottom of the 4th. Morton, Bartolotti, and Bousquet. 6, 7, 8 hitters. First pitch from Sapp. Chop to third base. And it will be an error against the Toccoa Falls third baseman, Aiden Dumas. And a 2-base error at that, as Luke Morton able to cruise into second base. I have a shame there because initially Dumas made a nice play on the chopper, but the throw offline. And a runner in scoring position for the NATOs. And Bartolotti. Bartolotti lays down a bunt down the third base line, and he's going to beat it out. So runners first and third. So base hit, and Tornadoes now in business with the tying run on base as well with Hunter Bousquet. And the pitch. Chopped foul into the Tornadoes dugout. Tornadoes dugout located on the first base, or check that third base side. Pitch there, outside, 1-1. Two balls and a strike. Runners first and third. Bartolotti at first. Morton at third. Bousquet at the plate. Bousquet fouls this back and out of play. Well, we mentioned the start of the Major League Baseball season. March Madness underway. Folks filling out their brackets. As this is drilled to right field, and that'll be a base hit for Bousquet. And a run scores. RBI single for Hunter Bousquet. Luke Morton comes home to score, and just like that, Tornadoes have cut the deficit to 4-3. And opportunity here for Lucas Granada to add to that. Still no outs here in the bottom of the fourth. Pickoff throw to second. Bartolotti able to get back. He had to dive head first to make sure he got back safely. Sapp versus Lucas Granada. Pitch here in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Connor Merritt. Here's the 1-0. Grounder down the third base line. It's fair. And it's going to be an RBI double as the tying run comes to the plate. Bartolotti scores. Bousquet moves to third. And an RBI double for Lucas Granada. And we're all tied up at 4. The fourth double of the season for Granada, his 11th RBI. And now a 4-4 tie. Identical line score at the moment. 4 runs, 5 hits, 1 error for both sides. Can't get much more even than that. Here in the bottom of the fourth. These two teams split the first 2 games they played this season. So certainly a good matchup between the two squads, located less than 80 miles apart from each other. Here's the 1-0. Lifted to left field. That's well struck, but play is made, and it'll be a sacrifice fly RBI. And the Tornadoes take the lead as CP Pyle gets the job done with the sac fly. And the Tornadoes now with a 3-run frame to take the 5-4 lead. CP Pyle with the sac fly, his first of the year. Bousquet scored on the play. Granada, the base runner at second. So now one down, and Hayden Jennings at the plate. And out there, line drive to short. He tried to double up. The base runner, Granada, at second, but Granada able to get back. Good base running by Granada to avoid that third out. Now bring up Logan Sawyer. 1 for 2 with a run scored. Had a double earlier. And he lifts this pitch, first pitch swinging to right field for out number 3. But the Tornadoes, 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, did leave a batter on base. We'll head to the top of the 5th. Your score, Brevard 5, Toccoa Falls 4. Back here at Gilcone Field, 5-4 Brevard on top. So first batter up for Toccoa Falls, Ryan McCarron. And first pitch off the plate there, ball 1. And then a called strike. Pitch there outside, 2-1. Caleb James on the mound for the Tornadoes. Check that. Actually, a pitching change at the start of this inning. It was Jacob Wild. My apologies. Freshman righty. The 5th pitcher of the afternoon for the Tornadoes. Meanwhile, a pinch hitter for Toccoa Falls.
Pitch hitting for Toccoa Falls, number 45, Austin Ryder.
Austin Ryder at the plate. So Wild versus Ryder. Ryder batting for Dumas. Here's the 1-0. Swing and a miss, 1-1. For Jacob Wild, this is his 6th appearance. He's pitched 8 2/3 innings so far this year. And able to make the double play there. Very nicely done. 1-6-3 on the putout as Wild to Bartolotti to Ayler. And just like that, 2 outs and bases empty. So really well done there. Jacob Wild getting that double play ball, and then great job by the defense, started by Wild, to complete the double play. As Powell comes to the plate, and big cut there, and a swing and a miss. More action in the Tornado pen. Already seen 5 pitchers. As pitch there's inside. 1-1. Five to 4th lead for the Nados, as that's fouled out of play. Very even ball game. Both teams with 5 hits. Both teams with an error. Both teams have left 4 runners on base. As that's fouled off by Powell. More bullpen action for the Nados. It's Hatcher Bailey, sophomore righty. Here's the 1-2. Fouled off. And the at-bat will continue for Powell. That pitch well outside, 2-2. Powell pops this up in foul territory, and Vasquez makes the play for out number 3. So great job by Jacob Wild, who gets the Tornadoes out of that frame. Double play, part of the process. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th with your score: Brevard 5, Toccoa Falls 4. Changes for Toccoa Falls. New pitcher, Kason Rhodes, freshman out of Noonan, Georgia, pitches from the right side. And Austin Ryder, who we saw as a pinch hitter, he'll remain in the game at third base. So we continue to see multiple pitchers for both these teams. This is the fourth pitcher for Toccoa Falls, the ninth different pitcher between the two teams. And Cale Ayler will lead off for the Tornadoes. Ayler, Vasquez, Morton. Big part of the lineup for the Tornadoes. An opportunity here to add to a 5-4 lead. They'll have to size up a new arm in the form of Rhodes. Pitch here inside, ball one. Ayler fouls that up towards the mountain bike tracks on the hill parallel to the third base line here at Gilcone Field. Pro tip, you might be able to find some white squirrels over there on that hill. As pitch here inside, 3-1. Ayler blasts this to right field, and it is ruled foul. That ball traveled a long way. Ayler is in disbelief. He thought he had a home run. Coach Vinny Carone trying to get an explanation as well. And Coach Carone talking things over with the crew. And Cale Ayler looked like he had connected on an absolute blast to right field. Pretty much everybody in the building thought it was gone. But the umpire on the bases thought otherwise. And the at-bat will continue. Foul ball, the call. 3-2 the count. And a swing and a miss and a strikeout for Rhodes. And that'll bring up Frankie Vasquez. So certainly some frustration there for Ayler and the Tornadoes after a seemingly well-hit home run, which even more impressive if you think about how far that traveled. The wind is blowing in. And despite that, Ayler with that blast to right field, but ruled foul somehow. Vasquez strikes this down the third base line and foul. Did you feel the Tornadoes' bat starting to heat up a little bit, just looking to connect on one of these? 2-1 the count. Relief pitcher Rhodes versus Frankie Vasquez. Decorated senior for the Nados. As that's fouled off. 2-2. More action in the Brevard pen. Here's the 2-2. Ripped foul. Some serious exit velocity there as that was hammered foul out of play down the left field line. And then Vasquez stretches, reaches, and able to foul that off to continue his at-bat. Vasquez with a single right up the middle. Nicely done. Great at bat for Frankie Vasquez. And a base hit with one out. And runner aboard for Luke Morton. So Luke Morton will step to the plate. Morton 0 for 2 with the run scored. As Morton able to get a base hit to center, and now runners at first and second. That'll bring up Nico Bartolotti.
Nico Bartolotti.
So now 7 hits in the game for the Nados. Back-to-back singles by Vasquez and Morton. Bartolotti, see if he can keep this locomotive going. As that pitch gets away to the backstop and off the glove of the catcher, Connor Merritt, it'll be ruled a pass ball. So now runners second and third. And a 1-0 count for Bartolotti. Pitch from Rhodes. Bartolotti hits that foul to the Toccoa Falls dugout. Grounder there, down the third base line, fair, and that'll be a 2 RBI single.
2 RBI single for number 0,
Nico Bartolotti coming through big time.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, the catcher number 48, Hunter.
And the Tornadoes stretch their lead to 7-4. So 3 straight singles for the Nados. And this is ripped to left field. Nice play by the left fielder of Toccoa Falls, Jeremiah Campbell, to flag that down for out number 2. as Bousquet got a lot out of it, but
Batting for the Tornadoes, left fielder number 1.
some good outfield defense there for the second out. That'll bring up Lucas Granada. 1 for 2 with a RBI double. As pitched there inside, ball 1. Tornadoes bats have been heating up as of late. 3 runs in the 4th, 2 runs so far in the 5th. The 2-0 from Rhodes. Outside, ball 3. Seven runs on 8 hits for Brevard College. Pitch there inside, so runner will take the base in the form of Lucas Granada. Now runners first and second. Bartolotti heads to second. And back to the top of the order for CP Pyle. Pyle has a sacrifice fly RBI to his credit. Also reached base via hit by pitch. Here's the 1-0. Across the plate there, strike. If the inning continues, Hayden Jennings waits on deck. And base hit down the third base line. And that's going to score another run for the NATOs, who have now doubled up their advantage over Toccoa Falls, 8-4 on that RBI single from CP Pyle, his second run batted in for the game. Now bring up Hayden Jennings. Big inning so far for the NATOs. Rhodes has thrown 26 pitches, and the Tornadoes have gotten to him. Three runs this inning. 3 runs in the last frame as well for Brevard. Toccoa Falls led 4-2 not that long ago. 6 unanswered runs for BC. Here's the 1-0. In the dirt. And able to hold the runner there. Nice play by Connor Merritt to block that ball. 2-0 the count, 2 outs. Runners first and second. Granada at second, Pyle at first. The pitch to Jennings. Bounces off the mound and then handled by the second baseman Miller for the force out in out number 3. But the Tornadoes able to get 3 runs in the frame and take a 8-4 lead into the 6th. New pitcher for Brevard College, Hatcher Bailey, sophomore righty from Griffin, Georgia. 8th appearance of the year for Bailey. He's been effective this season coming out of the bullpen. A 3.00 ERA, allowing just 2 runs on 5 hits, has struck out 3. Opposing batters hitting just .238 against Bailey. Bailey, a Georgia native. Much of Toccoa Falls roster from the state of Georgia, where Toccoa Falls is located. So you wonder if a player like Hatcher Bailey ever faced off against any of these Screaming Eagles, perhaps in his high school years. Well, his first assignment here in the top of the 6th will be Jeremiah Campbell, junior out of Snellville, Georgia. 8-4 lead for Brevard. First pitch from Bailey. Just a bit outside. Here's the 1-0. Fouled off, as able to locate that well. Campbell has a walk and a run scored this afternoon. Eckert awaits on deck. Miller in the hole. Good looking pitch there. Just freezing Campbell. And the count now 2-2. Bailey, the 6th pitcher of the contest for BC. And swing and a miss there. Bailey with the big time strikeout. That gets the crowd here at Gilcone Field up off their feet. Eckert steps to the plate. 1 down. First pitch called strike. Nick Eckert, Jr., starting shortstop out of Grovetown, Georgia. Grovetown, a suburb of Augusta, as Eckert is hit by pitch and will take first base.
Batting for Toccoa Falls, second baseman number 1, Will Miller.
And I'll bring up Will Miller. The other half of that middle infield for the Screaming Eagles. Well, Tornadoes will be back in action on Saturday. USA South 3-game series versus Pfeiffer. A doubleheader on Saturday, game 3 on Sunday. Pitch there inside, 2-0. Tornadoes won the last two games of a three-game USA South Conference series versus Southern Virginia on the road this past weekend, looking to continue that momentum. Here's the 2-0. Fouled out of play, 2-1. And taking second base, an error on the pickoff throw. So runner advances to second with one out here. 2-1 count, runner on second, one out. Second error of the game on Brevard. Toccoa Falls has committed an error themselves. 15th career appearance for Hatcher Bailey. Saw him in 7 outings last season. As that's fouled off. Full count. Runner on second. Will Miller at the plate. And Miller takes ball 4, so 2 aboard now for the Screaming Eagles. And looks like we're going to have another pitching change for Brevard College. Stick with us. Your score, Brevard 8, Toccoa Falls 4. New pitcher for Brevard College, Craig Vatcher, sophomore who transferred to Brevard from Guilford. This will be the second appearance in a Tornado uniform for Vatcher. Vatcher, the native of Creedmoor, North Carolina, South Granville High School, and as we mentioned, attended Guilford his freshman season, where he made 6 appearances. And his one appearance so far this season came at Piedmont, where he pitched a shutout inning, allowing just 1 hit. That was a tight game at Piedmont. Piedmont, always a strong club, defeated Brevard 6-5 in that midweek clash. And Thatcher, a big part of that effort for Brevard. Well, he comes in here with one out and runners on first and second. And Compton at the plate. First pitch swinging's Compton, but it's foul. A lot of movement there. Both runners on the fly. Ayler was there defensively. Thatcher was ready to cover first, but everybody back to their stations. Foul ball. Thatcher, the 7th Tornado pitcher this afternoon, and we're only in the 6th inning. And automatic ball charge there on Thatcher. So 1-1 the call, the count rather, and pitch there inside 2-1. Now umpire saying 1-1 once again. As line drive there, Ayler able to make the out, then made a diving attempt to try to double up the runner Miller. So 2 outs.
The Screaming Eagles catcher number 12, Connor Merritt.
And that'll bring up Merritt. Great job there by Ayler. Did everything in his power to get the unassisted double play. Now Thatcher go back to work against Merritt. Merritt 2 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Also has drawn a walk and stolen a base, so strong all-around performance for the catcher. He's blocked a few balls that may have resulted in more damage for Brevard as well. And this is well struck all the way to the wall in left field, and that's going to be a 2 RBI double. Now moving to third on the throw, and now an error is going to score the run. So 3 runs on the play. And add a double for Merritt. He advanced a third on the throw and then came home on the error. And just like that, what was a 4-run lead has been sliced to 1. And that'll bring up Cole Smith. So an 8-7 ball game here. Tornadoes, 8 runs, 9 hits, 3 errors. Toccoa Falls, 7 runs, 6 hits, 1 error. Error charged on Hunter Bousquet on that throw, trying to get Merritt at third. So Merritt scores on the play, Eckert scores on the play, Miller scores on the play. If you're scoring at home, a double advances to third on the throw, and then the error on the catcher. As that'll be a base hit on the ground ball to deep short. And the inning will continue for the Screaming Eagles. Cole Smith aboard. That'll bring up Ryan McCarron.
For the Screaming Eagles, First baseman, number 32, Ryan McCarron.
Karen has a double in RBI, has also drawn a walk. An 8-7 ball game here at Gilcone Field. It's been a good one. Swing and a miss there. Big time pitch from Thatcher. Well, no surprise, more action in the Tornadoes pen. Imagine we'll continue this trend of seeing a lot of arms here in this midweek affair. Here's the 0-2. Fouled. Count remain 0-2. Pitch from Vatcher. Fouled out of play. Tornadoes infield defensively. Bousquet, the catcher. Ayler at first. Morton at second. Bartolotti at short. And Vasquez at third. With Vatcher on the mound, and Tornadoes looking for a third out here in the top of the sixth. As wild pitch is going to move the runner. Smith to second. And now the tying run in scoring position suddenly. Tornadoes had scored 6 unanswered runs to open up an 8-4 lead. Toccoa Falls showing some fight here in the top of the sixth with 3 runs so far in this frame. 1-run ball game here at the Gill. Ayler will make the play at first. Good hustle by the senior for out number 3. So we'll head to the bottom of the sixth. Brevard 8, Toccoa Falls 7. Logan Sawyer will lead off for the Tornadoes. A new pitcher for Toccoa Falls. Hunter Tatum, lefty from Clarksville, Georgia. So we continue to see the depth of these two pitching staffs. Fifth pitcher of the contest for Toccoa Falls. Brevard with 7 pitchers, so combined 12 different pitchers between the two teams. And trust me, we're not done yet. Grounder here to short. Great effort, but it'll be a base hit for Sawyer. Got to hand it to Nick Eckerd there at short, doing everything in his power to try to make that play, but location of the grounder and the speed of Sawyer gives the Tornadoes the base hit. 10th hit of the game for Brevard. Now bring up Cale Ayler. Ayler, along with most people here at Gilcone Field, thought he had a home run in his last at-bat. A blast down the right field line, and that cut there, he was ready to hit that one to Hendersonville. Pitch there inside, 2-1. Called strike makes the count 2-2. Chopper down the first base line, foul. Cale Ayler with those yellow gloves. They aren't baseball batting gloves by design. Rather, they're working man's gloves that you would find perhaps at a Home Depot or a Lowe's. The brand Steel, as swing and a miss there. And that'll bring up Frankie Vasquez. So 1 out, runner at first for Vasquez. Vasquez 2 for 3 with a double and 2 RBI and a run scored. And that's a fair ball from Vasquez. That ball is going to go all the way in the corner in the left field, and it'll be the second double of the game for Vasquez, an RBI double.
RBI double for number 19, Frankie Vasquez.
And Sawyer will score. So an RBI double for Vasquez makes the score 9-7. As Sawyer scored on the play, and that's a key run for the Tornadoes after Screaming Eagles screamed back with 3 runs in that top of the 6th. And Luke Morton steps to the plate. 1 for 3 day with 2 runs scored for Morton, known affectionately as Morty. The pitch. Hammered right up the middle for a base hit. Vasquez is going to be sent home, play at the plate, and he's out. Really nicely done with that throw from the center fielder for Toccoa Falls. Charlie Compton. Beautifully done. Able to connect with Merritt, and he made the tag to throw out Vasquez. A base hit for Morton. He advanced to second on the throw. So now 2 down and a runner at second for Nico Bartolotti. 2 for 2 day for Nico with a pair of RBIs and 2 runs. Pickoff throw at second. And Morton's back safely. Pitch there off the plate. 1-0. This is hit to deep right field, but that'll be out number 3 as Powell makes the play in right. But the Tornadoes able to get a run on the Vasquez double. We'll head to the top of the 7th. Brevard 9, Toccoa Falls 7. We head to the top of the 7th. Brevard adding a run there in the bottom of the 6th on the Vasquez double to give Brevard a 2-run lead here heading into the 7th, and a new pitcher for Brevard. It's the 8th pitcher of the game, as Matthew Evans, right-hander from Yulee, Florida, so Matthew Evans will go to work here. Ryder will step to the plate to lead things off here in the top of the 7th for Toccoa Falls. Austin Ryder, he was entered into the game first as a pinch hitter, then he remained in the game at third base. First pitch, a strike from Evans. So Evans from Yulee, Florida, just outside of Jacksonville, Yulee High School. A famous alum of Yulee High School. Derrick Henry, the Pro Bowl running back in the NFL, who's broken all sorts of records. A distinguished alum of the same high school as Matthew Evans. As that's a fair ball down the third base line and trying to stretch it to third. And out on the play. Nice job defensively. Luke Morton getting it done. So kind of an odd play. Base hit down that third base line. Vasquez knocked it down and gathered it. Ryder tried to stretch a single into a double. And Vasquez to Morton for the out. Morton just handled things himself, tracking down Ryder with the tag. So one down here in the top of the seventh. So not only Derrick Henry from Yulee High School, but also another current Brevard College student athlete from another sport from Yulee High School as well. Member of the Student Athlete Advisory Committee, Hayden Domingo from the men's soccer program. Swing and a miss there, 1-1. One ball, one strike, one out. The pitch. Drove down the left field line and foul. Base is empty, one out. Powell versus Evans. Grounder to Ayler, who flips it to Evans for out number 2. Well, more action later this week across the spring sports. Men's lacrosse will be facing off against LaGrange on Friday at Islamel Family Field. That's a 4 o'clock start. Hope to see you there. Tornadoes men's lacrosse. As pitch there locates. Strike one to Campbell. Saturday, baseball will be back in action versus Pfeiffer, a doubleheader right here at Gilcone Field. And then right next door at the BC softball field, Tornadoes will be taking on Meredith. Doubleheader starts at 1 o'clock. So you can get a 2-for-1 between the baseball and softball action here on Saturday. And then Sunday, as baseball will be playing Game 3 of their series versus Pfeiffer. That's a 1 o'clock first pitch. Women's lacrosse will be in action versus Greensboro at Islamel Family Field. As a strikeout there from Evans. And nicely done, Matthew Evans. And we'll head to the bottom of the seventh. Seventh inning stretch time here at Gilcone Field. Your score, Brevard 9, Toccoa Falls 7. Seventh inning stretch here at Gilcone Field. Take me out to the ballpark. New pitcher for Toccoa Falls. Braden Alexander, freshman from Good Hope, Georgia. And Hunter Bousquet will step to the plate. Bousquet, 1 for 2, RBI and a run scored. Pitch there, just missing from Alexander. And Bousquet well struck to left, and that's going to be ruled a double for Bousquet, who's now 2 for 3. And now runner in scoring position for Lucas Granada.
Batting for the Tornadoes, left fielder number 1, Lucas Granada.
First pitch, a ball to Lucas Granada. Granada with a RBI double of his own earlier in this game. It's the 1-0 from Alexander. Outside, 2-0. And the pitch. Off the plate again, 3-0. And a 4-pitch walk is going to give the Tornadoes runners at first and second as Granada takes first. And back to the top of the order, here's C.P. Pyle.
Batting for the Tornadoes, center fielder number 49, C.P. Pyle.
Pyle with a 2 RBI day of his own, and now a trip to the mound by the Screaming Eagles coach. We'll take a quick break. So Alexander, after the mound visit, will face off against C.P. Pyle. First pitch delivers for strike 1. Hayden Jennings on deck for the Nados. Logan Sawyer in the hole. Pitch there, missing. 1-1. Pyle fouls that back. Pyle was a guest on Tornado Talk this past Monday night, along with pitcher Jacob Thompson, as that's hit to left field for out number 1. If you want to go back in the archives on the YouTube channel and check out that conversation.
Batting for the Tornadoes, the designated hitter number 10, Hayden Jennings.
Some great insights from both CP and Jacob Thompson. This team ready to do damage in the USA South Conference. Got this big road swing completed and ready for a successful homestand that begins with what you're watching right now here at Gilcone Field. Pfeiffer for 3 this weekend. It's Little League Day on Saturday, so welcome all Little Leaguers. Encourage them to come on out here in uniform if they like and enjoy the atmosphere of NCAA Division III baseball. As this is lifted to right field, that'll be out number 2, runners hold. I'll bring up Logan Sawyer after Jennings is retired on the flyout.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, right fielder number 9, Logan Sawyer.
As we've reached the .6 p.m. Eastern time hour here at Gilcone Field. Thanks to daylight savings time, darkness not an issue at the moment. Would have been a month ago. In fact, there was one Brevard College game called early due to darkness on the softball field earlier this season. Two balls, no strikes. Alexander versus Logan Sawyer. Pitch there, missing, 3-0. Well, hope you can join us in person at Gilcone Field. You can see the complete schedule at bctornadoes.com. As called strike, a take there from Sawyer. Great atmosphere to enjoy the sport of baseball and see these student athletes compete. Ball 4 will load the bases for Brevard College.
Now batting for the Tornadoes, first baseman number 26, Kale Ayler.
First bases loaded situation of the game for either team, and see if the Tornadoes can cash in. Kale Ayler at the plate. Ayler takes strike 1. Bousquet, the runner at third, Granada at second, Sawyer at first. Big cut there from Ayler, strike 2. Alexander squares up the pitch. Outside, 1-2. Ayler with a base hit to center. That's going to score 2 runs. A 2 RBI single for Cale Ayler. And that's a gratifying 2 RBIs for Ayler, who was 0 for 4 to this point, despite what everyone thought was a home run earlier, and able to get some redemption there with the 2 RBI single. And the Tornadoes now lead 11-7. Granada and Bousquet both scored on the play. So Sawyer now the runner at second, Ayler at first. And Frankie Vasquez at the plate. Vasquez riding a 3 for 4 day, 3 RBIs and a pair of doubles, and he's going to keep that hot streak going as Ayler's being sent home, and it's a 2 RBI double, the third double of the game for Vasquez. Oh my, what a day Frankie Vasquez is having. RBI total now up to 5. And a 3 double performance. And Luke Morton will step to the plate, and Tornadoes suddenly with their largest lead of the contest have stretched this lead to 6 runs. 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 RBI single from Ayler and then a 2 RBI double from Vasquez. Morton at the plate now. Big day offensively for Brevard. 13 runs on 15 hits. 6 doubles, 3 of which have come from Vasquez. A single game record, 3 doubles for Frankie Vasquez. So he's in the record book. And the 6 doubles currently ties the team record for doubles in a game. So one more double in this 2025 club will be sitting alone in that category in the record book. But big congratulations to Vasquez. Sets the new single game record for doubles in a game with 3. And he may get another at-bat before we're done. Meanwhile, this is lifted to left center field, and that'll be out number 3 as Morton is retired. But Tornadoes, a big inning, 4 runs, 3 hits, a 2 RBI double from Vasquez, a 2 RBI single from Ayler. And the Tornadoes enjoying a 13-7 lead as we head to the top of the 8th. So Tornadoes now ahead 13-7 after the big 7th inning. Frankie Vasquez and Cale Ayler coming through with their bats. New pitcher for the Tornadoes, Michael Geary, the freshman who will be making his Brevard College debut here against Toccoa Falls. Wears number 70, right-handed pitcher out of Hopewell Junction, New York, which is upstate.
Now batting for the Screaming Eagles, shortstop number 4, Nick Eckert.
Up the Hudson River from New York City. About a hour and a half drive or so from Manhattan. And Michael has found his way to the mountains of Western North Carolina, Brevard College, and big moment here as he makes his collegiate debut in a varsity uniform. Eckert at the plate for Toccoa Falls. And big swing there from Eckert, and Eckert a little shaken up on the play. One, two, the count to Eckert, and the pitch from Gary. Just missing inside, 2-2. Always exciting when we see a collegiate debut. Here's the 2-2. Hard hit down the third base line. Vasquez tried everything he could to lasso in that rocket. It'll be a base hit for Eckert.
Now batting for the Screaming Eagles, second baseman number 1, Will Miller.
And that'll bring up Miller. Miller has scored 2 runs, has reached base twice via walk, and has stolen a base. Takes a ball, 1-0. Popped up and fouled out of play. One the count to Miller. Miller out of McDonough, Georgia. Pitch there, outside, 2-2. McDonough, Georgia, one of those exits you'll see as you're driving north on I-75 from Macon to Atlanta. And running joke always, a popular stop, the McDonald's in McDonough, Georgia. Pitch there. Misses. Full count. More action in the Tornadoes bullpen. A bullpen day in the truest sense of the word, of the term, as this is lifted to center field. CP Piles there for out number 1. Gary's the 9th pitcher for Brevard.
Batting for Toccoa Falls, center fielder number 7, Charlie Compton.
Sort of reminiscent of what you would see in a Major League Baseball All-Star game, where all these pitchers are coming in, sometimes not even for a full inning of work. But certainly valuable for Brevard College as they build their pitching depth, figure out situational bullpen usage of these players, and great opportunity for these Tornadoes to get action, as that's going to make its way all the way to the right field fence. It'll be a double for Compton. And now runners second and third with Merritt coming to the plate.
Now batting for Toccoa Falls, catcher number 12, Connor Merritt.
Merritt, the catcher for Toccoa Falls. He's got a great day going at the plate. 3 for 3, 4 RBIs, a double. Scored a run, drew a walk, stolen base for good measure. First pitch, swinging strike. Home plate umpire ruled that he went around on that check swing. Here's the 0-1, outside 1-1. Well, Toccoa Falls has fought back a couple times. This would be the biggest deficit they've had to overcome so far. Currently, runners second and third with 1 out, so an immediate opportunity here for the Screaming Eagles. Screaming Eagles came into this game with an 11-12 overall record. Next up for Toccoa Falls is a trip to Bob Jones this weekend. Pitch there, low, 3-1. The pitch. Well struck. Line drive to left field. That's going to score a run and make it 13-8. RBI single there for Merritt, who now has a 4 for 4 day with 5 RBIs. Big time performance for the Eagles catcher. That'll bring up Smith with runners on the corners and 1 out. This will be the 18th pitch of the inning for Geary. And this is lifted to center field. CP Pyle makes the catch. Runner at third, Compton, thought about it momentarily, but a great throw by Pyle to keep him in check. Good job by Geary, ready to back things up as well.
Now
And 2 down
Toccoa Falls, first baseman.
here in the top of the 8th. So Toccoa Falls now down to their final 4 outs, trailing by 5. I'll bring up McCarran, 1 for 3 afternoon, with a double. Good looking pitch there from Gary, strike 1. And the 0-1. Fouled away, 0-2. So Gary ahead of McCarran with runners on the corners and 2 outs. Runner going and hit directly to Luke Morton for out number 3. So 2 runners stranded. Toccoa Falls able to get 1 run in the process. But good job by Gary to limit the damage. And Tornadoes continue to enjoy a lead, currently 13-8 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. New pitcher for Toccoa Falls is Noah Lind, junior right-hander out of Anderson, South Carolina. 6'4", and he'll take on Bartolotti, Bousquet, and Granada. Here in the bottom of the 8th, Tornadoes leading by 5. Well, we've been mentioning the series this weekend. Hope to perhaps see you up here in person at Gilcone Field. Doubleheader on Saturday versus Pfeiffer starts at noon. Game 3 of the series on Sunday at 1 o'clock. And then the following weekend, March 29th and 30th, another 3-game series in the USA South Conference versus NC Wesleyan. All part of a 7-game homestand that begins with this contest that we've been witnessing this afternoon. A trip to Methodist to start April, followed by another home series against Greensboro, April 12th and the 13th. That's alumni weekend, by the way. This is the last midweek game, with the exception of one final midweek opportunity, which is versus Bob Jones on April the 22nd. That's a 4 o'clock first pitch on a Tuesday. As pitch here to Bartolotti, off the mark, 2-1. Nico having a nice day at the plate, 2 for 3. 2 ribbies, 2 runs scored. As he lines that out to Compton. And that'll bring up Bousquet.
Back for the Tornadoes, the catcher, number 48, Hunter Bousquet.
Bousquet with a 2-for-3 day of his own. That includes a double. Pair of runs scored, an RBI. As he grounds this to third, bat went flying. And in fact, it's a shattered bat. You do not see this too often in college baseball, folks, because they use aluminum bats. And that bat snapped in half.
For the Tornadoes, number 5, Tyler Kelson.
So 2 down now, and here's Granada. Pitch from Lind, swing and a miss. Here's the 0-1. Across the plate, 0-2. Brevard, 13 runs on 15 hits. Toccoa Falls, 8 runs on 11 hits. Just a beautiful afternoon for baseball as we head towards the evening here in the mountains. And a strikeout, but reaching base will be Granada. Or check that, Kelson. It was Kelson pinch hitting. So Kelson reaches base on the wild pitch. Kelson had snuck in there on me as a pinch hitter. And Kelson able to reach base on the strikeout and the wild pitch. Kelson, freshman out of Duluth, Georgia. And back to the top of the order, here's C.P. Pyle. Imagine we'll see Kelson remain in the game in outfield as he pinch hit for the Lucas Granada spot. Grounder here. And that'll be out number 3, 6-3 on the putout. Last chance for the Screaming Eagles as we head to the top of the 9th. Brevard 13, Toccoa Falls 8.
Remaining in the game, playing center field, number 5, Tyler Kelson.
So these changes for the Tornadoes. New pitcher looking to close this out in the 9th is the junior Andy Farringer. Tyler Kelson remains in the game. He'll play center field. CP Pyle will move from center to left. And anticipating some Toccoa Falls pinch hitters as well. An opportunity here for Andy Farringer to close out a victory for Brevard College. Farringer, so far this season, this will be his 9th appearance. He's been strong in relief as a Tornado. 3.12 ERA, allowing 3 earned runs in 8 2/3 innings, has 6 strikeouts to his credit. And a pinch hitter coming up for Toccoa Falls. It'll be Ethan Andrews.
Pinch hitting for the Screaming Eagles, number 36, Ethan Andrews.
Redshirt freshman out of Gainesville, Georgia. So Andrews will step to the plate with Peyton Powell on deck. So Farringer with the pitch. Fouled off. 0-1. Just the 5th home game of the season for Brevard College. In their 20th overall contest. So very road-heavy start of the season, and did include some neutral site games played down in Alabama. Farringer ahead 0-2. Farringer also a guest earlier this season on Tornado Talk, if you want to dig through that archive as well. He'll tell you how his nickname came to be. Known affectionately across Brevard College as simply Fish. As strike 3 there, got him looking. And 1 down as Farringer retires Andrews. That'll bring up Peyton Powell. Powell still looking for his first base hit of the game, an 0 for 4 afternoon thus far. As Farringer goes back to work. First pitch low, ball 1. Well, we've hit the 3-hour mark here at Gil Cone Field. No surprise when you consider all the runs scored and all the pitching changes. Here's the 2-0. This is drilled to right field. Nice piece of hitting by Powell. He's going to round first, head to second, and it'll be a double for Peyton Powell. So 0 for day no longer, as Powell now 1 for 5 with that double. And a pinch hitter for Toccoa Falls will be Davis Jennings. Another left-handed hitter for Toccoa Falls.
Number 6, Davis Jennings.
Big part of Toccoa Falls lineup. Bats from the left side. Davis Jennings, middle infielder out of Clarksville, Georgia. First pitch swing in, fouled back, out of play. Here's the 0-1. Inside, and it actually hit Jennings, so Jennings will take first.
Now batting for the Screaming Eagles, shortstop number 4, Nick Eckert.
And that'll bring on Nick Eckert. And the pitch. Across the plate, strike one. Eckert 2 for 3, 2 runs scored. Nice pitch there from Farringer, 0-2. Wind picking up here at Gilcone Field. As this is lifted to left, CP Pyle makes the play for out number 2. So Toccoa falls down to their final out, and Brevard 1 out away from securing a victory here.
Now batting for the Screaming Eagles, second baseman number 1, Will Miller.
That'll bring up Will Miller. Miller's still looking for his first base hit. Has reached base a couple times via walk and scored a couple runs. Pitch. Fouled off, out of play. So 0-1 the count. 2 outs, 2 on. Just missing there, 1-1. Fouled, out of play, 1-2. Jennings, the base runner at first, Powell at second. Tornadoes ahead by 5, looking to close this out. 2 outs here in the top of the 9th. The pitch, just missing inside this time, 2-2. In the delivery from Farringer. Fouled, out of play. Miller stays alive. Toccoa falls not only down to their final out, their final strike. Farringer, the pitch. It's a wild pitch that's going to run the count full and advance the runners to second and third. So Farringer will reset. Miller will square up at the plate. 3-2 count with 2 outs. Runners second and third. 13-8, Tornadoes on top. The pitch, fouled off again. Miller staying alive. Hear the Bee Gees in the background. The disco music. Pitch and swing and a miss. Strike 3. Farringer gets the third out in the 9th. And in a 3-hour, 6-minute.
The Tornadoes win. Final score, Brevard 13, Toccoa Falls 8.
Journey between these two teams. The Tornadoes take a 13-8 win. Brevard, 13 runs, 5 hits. 13 runs, 15 hits, 3 errors. Toccoa Falls, 8 runs, 12 hits, 1 error. Huge day for Frankie Vasquez, 4 for 5, 5 RBIs, and sets a new school record in the NCAA era for doubles in a game with 3. Tornadoes as a team tie the school record with 6 doubles. Also, multi-hit games from Logan Sawyer, who also had 3 runs, Luke Morton, Nico Bartolotti, Hunter Bousquet, all with 2 hits. Bartolotti also with 2 RBIs. Cale Ayler with a 2 RBI performance as well. Tornadoes with the 13-8 win big time performance for BC, keeping the momentum going. 3rd win in a row after winning 2 at Southern Virginia. Huge effort from the bullpen on a bullpen day. We saw Tootin as the starter. We saw Gage Granada, Bernard, James, Wild, Bailey, Thatcher, Evans, Geary, and Andy Farringer get those final 3 outs. 10 pitchers in total for Brevard College. Toccoa Falls with 7 pitchers used. And Tornadoes with the win. Jacob Wild is the winning pitcher. His first career win for Brevard College. And a feel-good afternoon here on a gorgeous spring day at Gilcone Field. Well, glad you're able to join us. Big thanks to all those who helped behind the scenes. Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin, Chris Freet, Alex Bolton, Martine Aguilar, Tom Percival Smith, James Laycock, Eric Freet, and a cast of thousands here at Brevard College. Your final score for the final time: Brevard 13, Toccoa Falls 8. Go Tornadoes.